Dear Taurus, today we explore a truth as solid as you are. Someone has shaken the very foundation you so patiently built, and now the wheels of karma are turning, slowly but unstoppably. This is not a cautionary tale. It is a testament to the enduring strength and steadfastness you have maintained through life's storms. The pain you carry may be invisible to others, for you do not wear it on your sleeve, but it is known to you and to the universe. This moment marks not an end, but the beginning of a new cycle, the reconstruction of your inner world. Let us embark on this journey together, where the energies of karma respond on your behalf in the most powerful ways. Part 1 of our exploration reveals that this karma is specifically for you, dear Taurus, because your hurt is often dismissed as mere stubbornness. There are wounds not caused by harsh words or loud betrayals. Instead, they come from a broken promise, a commitment treated with contempt, or the departure of someone you considered a pillar of stability in your life. Have you ever experienced such a heartbreak? This kind of pain doesn't erupt. It settles in like a silent crack in the bedrock of your life, and with your patient nature, you chose not to react. No anger, no accusations, no demands for an explanation. You sought nothing in return, not because you were weak, but because your soul, which treasures stability, chose silence over conflict. You are not one to win by inflicting pain on others. You wish no suffering, even upon those who have harmed you. As a Taurus, you possess one of the most loyal hearts in the zodiac. You don't just love, you build. Your love is a complete investment, and when someone betrays that trust, they don't just break a feeling, they demolish the entire structure you patiently built around them. Yet, in that silence, karma begins its work. You don't need to voice your hurt or prove your worth. The burden of exposing their actions does not rest on your shoulders. Karma, the law of cause and effect, operates without a judge or jury. It is a slow but certain current of justice that never forgets. In the teachings of the Buddha, it is said that all beings are heirs to their own karma. No one escapes the consequences of their actions. The pain of hurting a soul who has offered their safety and loyalty is among the heaviest burdens to bear. When you open your heart to someone, you offer them not just trust, but your stability, believing they will honor that sacred gift. If they disregard it, treating your steadfastness as something to be exploited, they betray not only you, but the very stability the universe entrusted to them through you. Betrayal, when met with loyalty, does not seek revenge. Instead, it awakens karma. Perhaps you have already moved on, forgiven, or even tried to forget. But the universe does not overlook quiet injustices. God reminds us that vengeance is mine. I will repay. When you choose silence over retaliation, karma strikes back harder because you have maintained your integrity. Some may see you as too slow to react or too stubborn, but they fail to recognize that what they mock is now protected by the highest forces. When you refuse to retaliate, you allow karma to flow freely. A comment I once read resonated deeply. A man spoke of being cheated by his business partner after years of building their company. Instead of suing, he chose to walk away and quietly start over from scratch. Years later, the other man's company collapsed, Others didn't understand, but he did. It was karma at work. You, dear Taurus, embody a quiet strength that doesn't require arguments or proof. There are victories that need no audience, and justice is often written in the language of balance, not words. Keep living with integrity, keep loving selectively, and trust that the universe is guiding you. If you have ever felt alone, misunderstood in your pain, let me assure you, I see you, I feel you, and karma is already responding on your behalf. If you wish to share a moment your foundation was shaken, a hurt that went unacknowledged, write it down below as a quiet ritual, not for them to read, but for your soul to honor the journey you have endured. The most painful wounds often come not from strangers, but from the one we trusted to build a secure future with. What happens when the person you trusted most is the one who pushes you into an abyss of instability? Can a Taurian soul rise again from such a foundational collapse? Let's delve into the next part, where we confront the deepest wound a Taurus can carry, a wound shaped like the safety that was lost. Part 2 reveals that the one who hurt you most was likely the one you trusted to be your anchor. This kind of hurt doesn't come from the outside. It arises from the very core of your being. When you love someone with sincerity, seeing them as your home, you believe they will never let go of your hand, no matter what. But then, they are the first to pull out a foundational brick. For you, trust is not a game. It is a sacred contract. Betrayal, be it a careless word, a moment of neglect, or a long silence, creates a void that is difficult to refill. That person could be a partner, a family member, or even someone you unconditionally supported. Your love, like Mother Earth, knows no bounds. It only knows how to nurture and provide. But when love is wounded and trust is extracted from your heart like a nail from solid wood, the scar remains a silent memory that cannot be voiced. You may find yourself questioning, why did the one I trusted most hurt me the deepest? While there may not be a perfect answer, know this: you were not wrong to love, nor were you weak to trust. Your pain stems from the depth of your commitment. Ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, you don't love halfway. When you enter a relationship, you offer your heart like a fertile garden, ready for the other to plant their dreams. When someone turns that garden into a wasteland, you don't respond with rage or curses. Instead, you retreat, embrace the emptiness, and find a quiet place to heal. Within that silence, however, the universe begins to move. In Buddhist teachings, it is said that those who hurt us become our teachers, guiding us toward letting go. The Lord is close to the broken-hearted, and not a single tear you shed is wasted. When you forgive in silence, the universe remembers. When you choose not to seek revenge, karma acts on your behalf. Continuing to love, even after abandonment, does not weaken you. It reveals your rare soul, one that chooses to build amidst the ruins. A woman once shared the pain of being betrayed by her husband after they had built an empire together. She didn't fight over it. She quietly walked away and started again. Years later, she was living a peaceful and prosperous life, while her ex-husband had lost everything. As a Taurus, you don't require an apology to move forward. You don't need others to look back. What you need is to continue living in the stability you have preserved, even when others walked away from it. That stability is opening new paths that those who hurt you no longer have the right to walk alongside you. You are no longer waiting for closure from someone else. Instead, you've become the one who finds peace in your own steadfastness. If you have been holding on to pain from someone you once cherished, consider writing it down as a farewell ritual. Are you ready to close a chapter on a relationship that never truly had an ending? You don't need to name names. Simply let your soul express. I invested everything I had. I was hurt, but I choose to release this, trusting in my own inner strength to guide me forward. After the foundation has cracked, after what was once sacred has been broken, what happens within a Taurus? Do they truly crumble, or do they quietly begin a journey of reconstruction from the unseen ruins? Let me share a story about a rebirth that is slow but profoundly solid. Part 3 reveals that this rebirth often occurs unnoticed. Did you know there exists a kind of rebirth so subtle that even you may not realize you've crossed into a new chapter? There's no spotlight, no applause, only you, and a new feeling. You no longer ache the way you used to. The apology you craved now feels as light as a cloud drifting by. This is rebirth, one that doesn't manifest through action, but occurs in stillness. It's like sitting in the garden of your soul and noticing that the trees once battered by a storm are now sprouting new leaves. You once believed that a deep hurt would leave you permanently off balance, that your heart would never open again. Yet one day, you find yourself smiling at something small, noticing the ground beneath your feet feels more solid, or hearing an old song without a heavy heart. Your heart is still, cleansed by patience. This is when you enter the stream of soul rebirth. You don't have to try. You only need time, light, and trust. Rebirth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the most grounded version of yourself that got buried under the weight of trusting the wrong people and believing false promises. You, dear Taurus, possess a remarkable ability to recover. Like the earth, you know how to heal and regenerate after a harsh winter. As Venus moves through fertile grounds, you are led to inner doors that others may not even recognize. You don't daydream to escape, but to find security, to remember that beneath your human skin, you are a piece of the earth, a fragment of eternal life. In Buddhist teachings, rebirth begins the moment you let go of expectations, resentment, and the need to understand why they acted as they did. When you release, you do not fall, you rebuild. The Lord once proclaimed, "Behold, I am making all things new." He does not merely fix, he recreates. He does not repair the broken. He brings forth what has never existed before. You, dear Taurus, are stepping into that newness, something you once thought impossible after all that was shattered. A woman shared her experience of living in the shadow of a painful divorce. She remained silent, worked hard, and placed everything in God's hands. A year later, she not only forgave, but realized that the person who hurt her no longer belonged in her soul's narrative. She was free, no longer needing to understand why. Your rebirth, dear Taurus, is not loud. It does not seek recognition or signs. It simply needs to be felt, like the warmth of the earth beneath your feet. after a long, cold winter. If you find yourself in this process, grant yourself time. Do not rush or doubt. You may still feel unprepared, but your soul has traveled further than you realize. If you've ever felt like you were falling apart and now sense yourself slowly coming back together, write down what helped you regain your footing. Was it a phrase, a song, a quiet moment in nature? Document it as a ritual of soul return, affirming, "I am returning, but I am not who I used to be. I am a more grounded, serene version of myself." Once you've been reborn, you start to sense something waiting for you, not remnants of the past or what you once longed to reclaim, but a gift from the universe. This is something you once believed you didn't deserve, yet now your inner light is radiant enough to receive it. Let us now open the gate to the blessings that await, not because you demanded them, but because you are ready. The universe's gifts manifest only when you cease to blame. After traversing through pain, once your wounds have stopped bleeding and become silent scars, you'll discover something remarkable. The very experiences that hurt you the most brought you closer to peace. You may have thought you needed an apology, a final discussion, or a confession from those who wronged you. Yet, in the quiet of night, as you sit by your window, listening to your heartbeat steady itself, you realize that what you truly needed was not justice, but peace. Peace does not arise from their transformation. It emerges when you relinquish the need to understand why they acted as they did. When you stop seeking answers, you enter the space of the invisible gift the universe reserves for those who have forgiven. You don't have to strive to receive good things. You simply need to stop resisting the silence. When you stop demanding justice from the world, the universe begins to rewrite something sacred just for you, in a language only a quiet heart can comprehend. You will notice new people entering your life, bringing gentler, more reliable energies. Unexpected opportunities will arise the moment you release your expectations. A gentle knock will come from an invisible hand, reminding you of the dreams you once buried deep within your heart. You'll understand that gifts do not arrive when you demand them. They come when you become the kind of soul capable of holding them with peace. As one of the most generous hearts of the zodiac, you often find yourself depleted. But when you pause to give, not to receive love, but because you are already full within, everything begins to change. You will no longer need someone to validate your worth. You'll walk away without looking back, carrying no resentment, only a quiet strength. This strength does not require understanding or acceptance from others. It simply needs you to keep it alive. In the teachings of Buddha, there's a profound truth: letting go is not losing, it is opening. By releasing old expectations, unspoken anger, and the burdens you once clung to, you create space for new blessings to enter. God says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." When your heart is pure, you don't need to open your eyes to know He is beside you. The greatest gift He offers is not wealth, fame, or perfect love from another, but the sacred realization that you are enough, you are light, and you are being held. A woman once shared, "I thought I would never rise again after betrayal, but today I feel no anger. I don't need them to return, because God gave me something miraculous the feeling of gratitude that they left, which led me to find myself again. Dear Taurus, that is the gift not because you are superior or more deserving than anyone else, but because you maintained your integrity even when the world sought to break it. The universe always responds kindly to those who choose to remain quiet in faith, not fury. If something is arriving in your life, a sign, a hidden blessing, a nameless gratitude, write it down as an affirmation to the universe, not to prove anything, but as a gentle whisper, I am ready, and I receive. After everything, after the gift, after the light, there remains one last step for your soul, a silent yet powerful ritual of forgiveness, not to free others, but to set yourself free. Part 5 reveals the profound mystery in the healing journey of steadfast souls like yours. Taurus, you never truly wish for others to suffer as you once did, even after they have caused you pain. Despite the tears you swallowed and the silent pleas for understanding, your heart still flows with a gentle strength. Forgiveness for you is not an act of generosity towards them. It is a means to unlock your heart from the chains of the past. You don't forgive because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve to live again in the light, in softness, as a soul unbound by old narratives. You don't forgive with logic. You forgive with your heart. This sacred right belongs to those who have been broken, who have given everything, and who have traversed darkness. When you forgive, you don't erase the past. You diminish its power to hurt you further. You say, I remember, but it no longer has power over me. You acknowledge, I don't agree with what happened, but I will not hold it in my heart. You declare, I have learned, and now I let go. Letting go is not denial. It is releasing the weight that has burdened you for too long. God reminds us that if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Hatred cannot be extinguished by hatred. Only love can achieve that. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful forms of spiritual freedom. It does not close a door. It opens a new path, one where you walk not in anger, but in light. You no longer require a final conversation or an admission of wrongdoing. You need only place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and whisper, I no longer carry this burden. I choose to live. I choose light. I choose me. A woman, age 78, once wrote, I don't have much time left, but I don't want to carry anger with me when I go. I want to leave this world with a warm heart. She wrote down the names of those who had hurt her and declared, I forgive not for them, but to be light enough to fly to a place where no shadows can follow. Taurus, you have many years ahead to live, to love, and to move forward with a heart that has been reborn. Do not carry that old burden any longer. Set it down like a pilgrim, laying down their final pack before entering a sacred temple. You have come too far to cling to anger. You have outgrown the version of yourself that once was, and now is the time to release resentment like smoke rising from an altar, making room for blessings to draw closer. If you are ready, write down the name of the person you need to forgive. No explanation necessary. Just write it as a ritual for your soul. I forgive. And I am free. And now, dear Taurus, you have traversed it all, the wounds, the silence, the breaking, the rebirth, and finally, the forgiveness. You didn't seek revenge. You didn't become bitter or emulate those who hurt you. You chose to remain steadfast, and because of that choice, you are stepping into an entirely new chapter. A chapter where karma is not retribution, but a reverence for the soul that remained true through every storm. You don't need to shout to prove your strength. Simply breathe with a heart that has been healed and continue walking your path. You are a fortress of light that even darkness cannot comprehend. Thank you for allowing yourself to walk this healing journey with me. Your presence is sacred, and I am genuinely grateful that you are here, quiet yet radiant. May your heart always be wrapped in peace, and may the gifts the universe has reserved just for you arrive at the perfect moment, in the gentlest way.